Presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was in Austin this week for a campaign rally. The independent is running on a platform for reforming the government, reducing the national debt, making homes more affordable, and combating what he calls the chronic disease epidemic. But he's also been widely criticized for his views on vaccines and his statements about January 6th. John Krinjak spoke with RFK one-on-one in this week's Fox 7 Focus.
Thanks so much for speaking with us. Tell me, why did you decide to come here to Austin? Why was it important to make a stop here?
This was, getting the ballots in Texas was a really critical milestone for our campaign. We've been told from day one that we could never do this. Nobody's ever had to collect this many signatures in the state of Texas. In the history of presidential campaigns, this many signatures. We were required to get 113,000. All the pundits said we would never do it. And instead, we got almost 250,000. So we got more than 2 times what we needed. We got close to 250,000 ballots or signatures. If we can do it in Texas, I think everybody is going to recognize we can do it everywhere.
Is this kind of what you need to build the kind of momentum that you need to be considered more than, people throw the word spoiler around, but more than that, a viable candidate as we head on through the summer and the fall?
Yeah, I mean, we need to get on the ballot and, in at least a minimum of states to give us 180 or 270 electoral votes. But we're going to make it. We're going to make it in every state. But this state was important because it is the hardest state. You have 45 days. The legislature designed this to make sure that nobody could ever do it. And we did it. We're very proud, and I'm very grateful to everybody, to all the Texans who signed on, 250,000 Texans.
You have a lot of big ideas: reforming government, addressing what you call the chronic disease epidemic, reforming potentially, our military involvement. What do you hope people here take away tonight when it comes to those big ideas, actually turning them into policy?
Yeah, I mean, if I get into the White House, everything's going to change. The 2 opponents who are running against me are people who both had their chance in office, and they have not done the issues that are really existential for this country. The debt, $34 trillion debt. They're not going to do anything about it. They're not going to do anything about this polarization that is tearing our country apart. They're not going to do anything about the chronic disease epidemic because they've presided over the chronic disease epidemic. They're not going to do anything to help our economy. They're the ones who shut down our economy. They shut down 3.3 million businesses for 500 days. All of the issues, the line of government, the 2 gentlemen, the presidents, ex-presidents who are running against me, the one thing they've demonstrated is they're not going to change anything. If you want more of the same, you should vote for President Trump or President Biden. If you want a complete change, you should vote for me.
And to that point, what do you say to people who call you a spoiler or bring up some of your positions, calling some of your positions extreme? How would you respond to those criticisms?
I'd like to know what I've ever said that's extreme. I think everything that I say is common sense. It's characterized as extreme by people who don't want people to hear me speak. If I run against President Trump, I win. If I run against President Biden, I win 39 states. He wins 11. I win in a landslide. So people want to vote for me, but they're voting for the other 2 out of fear. And what I need, my big challenge over the next 6 months, is to persuade Americans to vote out of hope rather than fear. And if they do that, I'm going to win the presidency.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., candidate for president, thanks so much for talking to us. We appreciate it.
Thank you,
Good
John.
to meet you.